Good afternoon. F1 League. I think my mic just had a brief moment. My apologies. We are live. We are here for practice. Unfortunately, I did miss the first few minutes, so my apologies for that. But it's just me again on commentary. Xbox Nuthead, F1's on Nuthead. And we're here once again for LCR. I'm very excited to be back. The shame, unfortunately, that I haven't got my co-commentator with me this time, but we are on board. It's actually, we've just seen Expert Almond there, who appears to be just about to start a lap on the hard tyres, on about our practice average lap of fuel, 10 laps, and unfortunately, he's been held up by Buddlelord. There's a car off there in the background as well. That's the Toro Rosso of... let's try and find out. It wasn't Jolly, so it wasn't that Toro Rosso. Which one was it? But whichever one it was at a moment. So, my apologies, I appear to have missed that, but he's back on track now, all good to go. Now on board the TOR Leopard, current championship, I think contender, because I think he lost the championship last time after a shocking turn of events, which saw three men, Fens, Leopard and Mr. EVR Fredster, all go head to toe for the entire race for the battle between the top three. In the end, it was Leopard who grabbed the victory, but after a 5-second penalty was added to him, he instead ended up, unfortunately, losing that result and actually fell down to third place, which I think meant EVR Fredster grabbed the championship lead heading into the fifth round here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Chaos Jenny back in the lobby, obviously him back again, of course, for this fantastic Grand Prix, Spanish Grand Prix. One of my favourites actually on the calendar. Yeah, look at the World Championship, he is in the lead. It's 1 point separate, and then with Expert Almond has just started us with 24.562, as we did see while Buddlelord, he was held up. On with the Leopard, those current runners run Gronesy, then smashes that by the way, with 22.9 on the medium tyres. Leopard getting the apex of the final few corners massively wrong, and in the end that will cost him just a little bit as Livs goes fast as over 20.595. He's interesting, Leopard switching on to Rich though, so must have been involved there at that lap. On board with our mate, he comes on the line, 2 tenths off of him with a 20.8 actually, sorry, and then we're just seeing Hayden as well in the other Force India go into it with 2 seconds off, but in a fair amount of fuel on board with that car, so that's not a bad lap from him considering. F1 Ben as well in the Red Bull gets a 22.294, 7 tenths quicker than Gronesy, and actually to be fair, Ben's done quite well there because he's on quite a considerable amount of fuel than Gronesy, so just managed to get a nice lap together and hooked it up nicely. Maybe more time to find as well. AOR Charlie definitely more time to find for the Toro Rosso because he started us off with a 53.6. That's even slow if we were driving at last round's track at Russia. Sorry, my apologies. I'm trying to set this up last moment just to make sure I have everything that I have at my disposal that I usually do. Just had to quickly jump on, so hopefully we should be all good and ready to go. In just a second. Please do apologise. I've just seen Drizzt's Revenge as well, and Jolly as well. Jolly set at 21.904 with a fair amount of fuel back on that practice lap on hard. Then Drizzt's Revenge with minimal amount of fuel, only down to 22.1. Not a good first lap for him, you've got to say. Buddlelord as well, 22.631, about 10 laps on board. And of course, this is quite crucial because, of course, it will tell you, where guys are roughly going to be. Yellow flag in sector 3. It doesn't look as if anyone's from TOR Verstappen as well. Lovely to see him into the league. Hopefully he can do well today. I believe it's actually his debut. And actually I would like to give a big shout out to TOR Leopard's teammate TOR Apex. Of course you guys will know him as LCR Apex, but unfortunately as he lost the bet he has now got to race under TOR Apex for a race, his second account. So get your laughs out now in the TOR versus LCR Racing Champions that it was. That was a fantastic event. I had the privilege of commentating on along with my usual co-commentator Exxon HD, but sadly he has had to pull out of this one, which is a shame, but we look forward to maybe seeing him back. We're on board with TOR Verstappen at the moment. The Mercedes driver, he comes up to turn number 4. Looks fairly clean and consistent so far. So yeah, looking at the championship by the way, so it's Leopard leading with 66 points, Fredster in second 65, 1 point separating the two championship leaders, very close. Make sure you keep your eye on that. Cushmania is a little bit further back on 37 points, and after Jolly's fantastic job in the final two races with a fourth and I believe a fourth and a second to his name in the past few races, he's really turned it up recently after a poor start. He found himself in P4. Fens in the end climbed his way back on to P5. The Australian not doing too bad for himself. TOR Pepsi having a consistent season. He's on 28 in P6. Then EBR Matt, who's had a poor few races. He's down in 7th place. He's so amazed P8. And then the final two in the top 10 are LAR Lives and Hayden. So both Force Indies in the top 10, and that's something to keep your eye on, because they are a very consistent team. Hayden and Amaze, two very quick guys on their day, so make sure you watch out for that Force India. It's definitely one of my teams to watch in terms of the future with regards to the rest of the season. As T. Verstappen has just gone to the line with about 30 laps on board. He's set to 22.462. That slots him in a P6 for the moment. Not a bad lap by the Mercedes driver. I believe he's actually reserved coming into cover for EVL Matt, who I do not think is here today, which is a shame. I haven't seen him get to see any YouTube POVs of him, of course. Instead, we are just going to have the LCR stream available, which we should mention is now going to be on YouTube. We are now on YouTube, yes. We now have the LCR account on YouTube, so go put Legacy F1 League on to the YouTube, and you will come up with, make sure you hit subscribe, and you can rewatch all these wonderful streams whenever you like, at any point and any moment in time, and maybe potentially we could see some clips on their way as well. So don't forget to tune that as well. Of course, next week I believe is the start of the Forza LMP1 Endurance Series for LCR, which of course LCR are not just a Formula 1 based league, we also do race on many different games. Make sure you go check that out as well if you're interested in Forza and fancy a bit of league racing Forza. Go get yourself signed up, it's a good opportunity to have a bit of racing. Of course, after the very successful Formula E season, we look forward to seeing how the LMP1 lads will get on. I'll definitely be tuning in. Make sure you do as well. There's my cheeky plugs out of the way. We've got a bit of battling going on there. Just had to Judas Revenge. That is Bottlelord and Hayden. Oh, massive bit of contact. A bit of lag. I think there's a huge bit of lag. He's been mounted. Hayden is mounting Bottlelord on the run towards turn number 6. And in the end, Hayden spun. Don't really want to make of that. I really don't want to make of that. As AR Charlie's also at a moment out of turn 3. But anyone else want to describe what we've just witnessed? We might have to adult the stream after that, because that was rather a moment. I do apologise if you have any young people watching, but yeah, I think we're just seeing Jolly just doing improvements. He's up in a P4 at the moment, at 21.762. A driver who's kept it clean and consistent last year racing, got himself some high points. He'll be looking to make a third successive high finish for him, as we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Not really too sure what's gone now. Just to mention, we still haven't seen lap times from Welty, Apex or Leopard, and we've only got 14 men currently in lobby. Hopefully we get more as we go. Now we got fine sector 2. That is X-Barman, and actually Jolly as well out of turn 4 has looked like he's had a bit of wallop with a wall there. So Jolly in the wall, the Toro Rosso driver, not going well. We've got Alman at a crawl here. I think he just let past here, so I'm amazed. He's on about 5 laps of fuel on the medium compound tyres, but he appears to be going fairly slow. He's on a 3-minute lap time, so he's definitely not. Jolly spun again, coming out of 5 in towards 6. He's had another moment. So the Toro Rosso's driver's day is not going very well at the moment. F1 Ben has just set another lap. He was around about 400ths off his first one, so close, consistent lap times gone out of Ben, so he could be someone to keep your eye on for some consistent lap times in the middle of the race. Of course, 11 laps of fuel on board, so he'll be sort of looking near towards the end of the race in terms of his fuel count. Hayden's currently got 21, so he's more thinking about the start of the race, trying to learn the track of how the car feels, because of course it's a completely different feel from the start of the race. It's very difficult as well to get used to it. Of course, after qualifying, when you've got the max amount of power, you've got all this amazing grip, and then you have to go from that to a full load, a tank of fuel with these tyres on, and of course racing at full pelt. It's very difficult to adapt. So it's good to always maybe get a stint out, especially in practice, but you've only got half an hour, so you've got too long, so good chance maybe see the first few laps out in a simulation. We've got another yellow flag in sector 2. AOR Charlie again, that is at turn number 8, I believe. Turn 9, sorry. That's just gone past turn 8. There is turn 9. There is now he's facing the right way, and he's having a cheeky bit of donuts. Not having a good time at the moment. But Leopard, by the way, has gone out on the soft compound tyres. And is absolutely pelting it, it looks like. Looks like I might be going for a quali run. We'll stick on board with him here. It could be a good chance to see what the best times are to come out in qualifying. Of course, these guys don't get as much power as they normally would do. But it's always interesting to see as to what the car feels like through the corners, and how quick these guys can go. 22.275 first sector. That's quite a good one, to be honest. We go out of turn 4 up towards turn number 5. It's very easy to lock up, as proven there by Leopard, who locks up the front left through that. Now on the run up towards 6, 7 and 8. That's 6 there. That is actually turn 6. Then is 7 and 8. Sort of uphill steep. You don't want to get on the grass, and he's got on the grass. Sliding like there's no tomorrow. That might be a sign he might back off. Will he carry on? He's sliding through, and now he's gone onto the road. That's not even this part of the track, Leopard. You're going the wrong way. And he's dropped it out of turn number 9. and he actually ended up taking the wrong track. He was on the wrong part of it. Before you know it, he might take the old-fashioned line when he used to go straight on, coming up towards where the newly found 14 and 15 is, instead of going straight on at 13. That's not how you take that corner. And Leopard has a bit of a moment, so that is the end of his dreams of setting a very good qualifying-esque run. Anyone coming up towards the end of the lap? Looks like I might have from Ben. As Leopard there does actually take that line, so he did listen to me. He did actually take my bit of advice. Then we're round the chicane at turns 14 and 15. He comes now through the long 16 up towards the line, which is actually called the Catalunya corner. 22's dead for him, so he only just improves, but it's still a not too bad lap from him. As we head up, who should we go on board with at the moment? It's amazing. He's about to start a mediums quali run, so a different lap than what we're probably used to seeing. Of course, you do normally see the soft guys for quali, but whether he's just trying to get a feel for what the car's like when it's on very, very minimal fuel, and he's absolutely gunning for it. Here we go, the start of his lap now on the run down towards turn number 1. He expects the guys hit the 200s potentially. It's very high downforce track. He does hit 200, but of course when the race comes, don't expect them to hit past 195. Now through turns 1 and 2, now towards turn number 3, sliding a bit. Maybe it's on a little bit, might be a sign that he might need a little bit of setup change, whether the differential on throttle could potentially be that. Through turn 3, run massively wide there, up towards turn 4, and he's already 3 tenths down on his own lap time. And it's still LCR Lives, by the way, on top of the charts, 1 tenth clear of Amazed, but he's on the soft tyres. He's still in the pits, he's happy with that. Expert Almond, by the way, is still in P3. Tilbar Verstappen, I think, did finally set a time decent time, 21.551. That's P4 for him, beats Jolly by 2 tenths, so he's done a fantastic job there. Drizzle Adventure is currently out on the soft tyres. I believe he set his first lap on the hard medium compound tyres, so still got more time to find. So, and he's got about 6 laps of fuel, and so we expect to see a quick lap out of him. F1 Ben does not find more time on his lap. Hayden's still going around on the same set, I believe. He's still yet to come in. 17 laps of fuel on board, so he's still learning a little bit as he goes. On board with Buddlord as he comes through turn number 16. Towards the line, it looks like it's going to be improvement. It is a minor improvement. He moves on to P9, 22 dead for him, so moving the same temp as Ben. 400s between the McLaren and the Red Bull, very close between them, so it may potentially be a battle come the race. On board with TOR Apex, of course LCR Apex as he is known. He's up to the line, 22.8 for him, so he does improve. 6 tenths off of Hayden. Not too bad lap for the Williams. We've normally seen him a bit further down the order. But he's a very consistent driver. Someone that always sticks out, and regardless of what happens, he always likes to keep going. Drizzle's Revenge does go faster, so it's currently a Ferrari 1-2 with 20.347 for the guy on the soft compound tyres. Good lap from him. And beats his teammate there. So a good lap for the American. Drizzle's Revenge will be very happy with that. And that tops the charts for the moment. So we've got the yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, Buddlord's had a massive wallop in the wall there at turn number 7 and 8. So in the gravel track there, he's got to get out of that, and he's got a hefty bit of damage in front wing. We saw it fix itself, then and briefly then unfix itself. So we'll come back in the pits. It's just gone past him. It is TOR Apex. As he comes up towards, we've got a lovely spectator camera as they come towards turn number 10. Very tricky corner here, very easy to slide and get it all very wrong. And it's going to be important for those guys, especially at the start of the race on that heavy load of fuel. They get that bang on right, because that can cost you plenty of time and potentially allow for an opportunistic overtaking manoeuvre through 11 and 12, which is, of course, one board with Verstappen here. This is 11 and 12. Of course, a long right-hander is turn number 12, an uphill as well, very easy to spin up at and get wrong. So the guys need to keep their wits about them at this Catalunya circuit. Now up through, we're on board with Gronesy here, the Renault driver. Oh, I think he's replacing Kushmania, because we are not yet to see him. Of course, lad who is further in the championship, so a chance for maybe some guys behind him to contest him, like Jolly. He's only got to get 8 more. He's going to get 8 points if we don't see Kushmania. Of course, Kushmania DNF last time, that had a huge shock of events. Nobody really expected that. We'll have to see how he gets on today. Gronesy's just come through turn number 10. He's got 1 lap of fuel on board, so he's definitely going for it. Round the long right-hander that is turn number 12, through towards the final chicane, which is 14 and 15, and of course the right-hander, which, I mean, when you've got worn tyres, it becomes a very hard corner, and it becomes even more difficult, especially as well when it's raining as well. It's a very possible opportunity. Up to the line for Gronesy, and he doesn't improve. It's a 21.064. So he remains where he is. As TOR Leopard smashes the lap there. I didn't even realise he was on that amount of fuel. 19.418. Smashing it by 9 tenths over Drizzt's Revenge. So the championship leader, proven that he's got some pace here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Leopard fastest for the moment, with 12 minutes to go of qualies. We've got another yellow flag, and it's F1 Ben at turn 1. How has he done that? He's spun it at turns 1 and 2. Whether he's just got onto the grass or something, or just had a little bit of a moment, but he is miles off in the gravel, and lucky to still have 4 wheels on his wagon. He has had a wallop with the wall there, as you can see, front right damage for him. So we'll have to come into the pits, and that's not a good sign at all for the Red Bull driver. Sticking up towards the guys. We've got ESR Amazed, and I believe that's Buttlewatch just ahead of him, both right with each other, as we've got a Red Bull coming down towards turn number 1. I believe that is not F1 Ben, but the other Red Bull of Welty. He's on very minimal fuel, but he's on the hard tyres, so a different strategy. Maybe a sign that he's going to try, and if he starts outside the top 10, you know, maybe start on the mediums, or maybe getting used to what the car feels like near the end of the race, as he's almost on the grass there a little bit. As Expert Almond gets out his way nicely through turn 5. No real issues for him, as Welty and out up towards 6 and 7 and 8. It looks all okay for him. F1 Ben has gone out. There's a big amount of traffic here. You've got Expert Almond here, so I'm amazed. I believe it's Buttlelord just ahead of them as well. And Expert Almond trying to slide and get his car up to temperature, but that's a bit too much temperature for his liking. He's sliding like there is no tomorrow. Another yellow flag in sector 2, and it's AOR Charlie at turn number 3. Well, actually coming out of 3 and towards 4. There is turn 4, of course, where Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton famously came together in that 2014 season, which was an unbelievable incident on lap number 1. You couldn't quite write Formula 1 in that instance, and we might see another one of them happen today. We'll have to wait and see as the race carries on. And Expert Almond has just had a coming together there with Buttlelord at the turn number 12, the long right-hander. Of course, it's only practice, but I mean, come on, we can't be acting silly like that in a race like this. Verstappen appears to have just improved to a 21.294. Still quite a way off though, so hopefully some more time to be seen by the reserve of Theo Verstappen in the Mercedes as he comes for the long sweeping right-hander that is turn number 3. It's very smooth and consistent. Yellow flag in sector 2, and it's AOR Charlie again out of turn. That's the second yellow straight in between 9 and 10 on the medium tyres at the moment. He's actually just had his front wing damage fixed, so he's all good to stay out. This game, yeah, is something else, but you know, at least he can then stay out. 10 minutes to go in practice session, of course, and of course we'll go straight from practice in towards qualifying. Hopefully we do see some more guys, especially guys like EVR Fredster. Not to see him today would be big news for the championship. As Alan Charles slides in the pits there, Colin McRae-esque. Very happy with that. That was classy, that was. Nowadays, let's have a little look at the constructors. So it's Sauber, of course, the team of EVR Fredster, and I'm not too sure the other Sauber is. That's not a good thing, really. Neither of them are in the lobby, I believe. Unless I am very much mistaken. My apologies, I should know my drivers, really, but I don't. Sauber, I don't see one. I've just seen Verstappen, by the way, go second with a 19.485, 700ths off of his TOR compadre. Buttlelord then comes in and slots in a P3 of 20.320. So he beats Drizzt's Revenge by 200ths there. ESR Amazed has just started another lap on a very minimal amount of fuel. Hayden as well was also on about 5 laps. Yeah, in terms of constructors, Sauber lead with 77 points. Then Williams, which of course the team of Leopard and Apex, they're on 70. Mercedes 53, which is the team of EVR Mats and TOR Pepsi. But sadly none of them are here at the moment. Hopefully see them for the race. Then we've got Haas, which I believe is the team of Expert Almond and who's the other Haas? Fens, so very close for them. But only 7 points separate at the top of the championship, so it looks like to be Williams versus Sauber at the moment, so that's the battle to keep your eye on, near the top of the charts and the constructors. Of course, the main focus for everyone is trying to win that elusive LCR World Championship in the World Division, of course. Don't forget to tune in as well if you're interested. We do have the Pro Division being started on Jess Plays over in the second division, of course. But if you're more interested at the top, watching the finest LCR have to offer, then do stick yourself right here. But if you do fancy a change, tune in to www.twitch.tv/JessGames95 instead of where we are at the moment, which is, of course, the main hub for your World Division. But it'd be interesting to see the Pro Division finally go live. Good chance to see how they get on in a racing environment. Armstrong's made the race. It's a 20.482. Jumps lives, but only up to P5 for now. As Leopard now has put on 33 laps. Now he's doing his race stint on the softs, of course, so he's just going to be going for it. Just trying to get used to how the car feels. A yellow flag in sector 3. It might be Expert Armand who's going dramatically slow through the final chicane. There's a little bit of information for you about the track. Of course, we do have this wonderful thing. 36 laps in this race, I believe. It's 36 laps. 2 activation points, 2 DRS zones. Of course, the start-finish straight in between the Catalunya corner and turns 1, 2 and 3. And then the one out of turn 8, which is actually quite a difficult one to take advantage of. Turn 9, sorry. Up towards turn number 10. Very difficult to take advantage of. We've got the Williams of Apex there, as we just on board Expert Almond. For the moment, we'll stick on board him because he's in about a quali lap field, so we could see a good lap come out from him. Of course, Laddie was dominating the Pro Division, got his opportunity in the World Division and made absolute justice of it and really proved why he deserves to be in this division. It was 0 place grid penalty. It was a collision between Bottlelord and Hayden there. Not a clue what's happened there. I don't know if that will impact the race or not. I've just seen LCR Mays go second place there for 20.243. He jumps Bottlelord, who's just retired, and Drizzt's Revenge. So he's now in a P3 on the mediums, remember? So that's a good lap time for him. He'll be happy with that, as Groansy needs to get out of the way of Expert Almond. That was clinical for him. And now up to the final chicane comes the Hash Drive, and he actually backs off. Whether he's going to go for one more lap, we'll have to wait and see. There is a Red Bull. The Red Bull team are preparing for someone to come into the pits in the meanwhile. It's an LCR lap record, by the way, interesting for you to note of. 20.898 set by LCR Apex. I believe that's in the race. But we've already smashed that at the moment in practice, if it is, because we've got a 19.418. Actually, the dude has just set that. TR Leopard has had a moment there at turn number 12 and on his race field. That's not a good sign for him. AOR Charlie moving on to a P3 there out of nowhere. The Toro Rosso driver, 20.084. Fantastic lap from him. Still about 5 laps of fuel on board, so probably less than what most people might actually have. Drizzt's Revenge just now starting a lap. Groansy as well, he's on another lap as Expertman did pit. Still 5 minutes to go in the session, so not long at all, but still enough time to get in the pits and come out again. On board with F1 Ben at the moment. He's now comes up to the final chicane. Looks like as if he might be very much on a lap. We've got the Force India ahead. I believe that's actually ESR Amazed. It is. He just dived it in. Anyway, out to the line for F1 Ben, and he sets a 20.4. P7 for him. Beats Livs by just 1/10. We've still not seen Livs back out yet. After going fast as early on, he's not been back out. Which is a shame. Not really too many laps under his belt. So we're hoping to see some more of him. As AOR Charlie appears to be going to lead, maybe essentially looking to make his way back in the pits. Drizzt's Revenge is on a lap. Meanwhile, we're on board with Groansy because he's, I believe, just about to come to the finish on that. He's up to the line, and it is improvement, a minor improvement, 500ths to a 20.735. Then Apex just came in with 20.284, beats Hayden only just, but does beat him. Who was on the hards, do remember. Jolly, as one of the expert on, we're still yet to see any improvements from them. Jolly was on the hards for his lap, but he is now on about 7 laps of fuel on the soft tyres. But Jolly was originally on about 11 laps. As we're just in Charlie dived in, TR Verstappen is on his way about to start a lap. On board with Drizzt's Revenge. As I think he is going to be someone to keep your eye on in terms of doing a lap. He's come through turn 3. He's very conservative there. Short shift, no emphasis on, he's not actually on one. Back on with F1 Ben. Of course, did find him time, did get someone a P7, but it looks like he was on another lap here. Will there be an improvement from him? Let's come on board with him to come towards the line. He is going to improve. He moves on to P4. Fantastic lap from 20.199. So a 10th off of AOR Charlie and slots in nicely in the P4. So a good lap for the Red Bull and continues to prove that he is definitely someone to keep your eye on. He's always consistent. He's just not had a few lucky races. That's what he needs. Drizzt's Revenge is just now coming through sector. He's a second down, so that's definitely a sign that he is not. Groansy tries to come in, he bins it on the pit entry, and Groansy has had a moment there. And the Renault driver, he's out of practice. That's a huge wallop with the wall, and an easy mistake to make. As we're just in Drizzt's Revenge, I'll drop it just there. Just as I quickly come on board with him as he comes up towards turns at number 14 and 15. He has had a little bit of a moment, but Everyone else is Jigglypuff's in, by the way. So there's the other Sauber driver. 20.109. So there is actually the other driver Sauber. So I did find him. Jigglypuff. Nice to see him back. We're up to 15 now for the race for the moment. Of course, still got time for the guys to jump in as well as in qualifying. So don't expect this to maybe potentially be all that we're going to get. But he is 900ths clear of F1 Ben. And is 4 attempts down this time, so we won't probably see an improvement from him unless he gets an absolute monster last sector. Jolly only managing a 20.636 in Toro Rosso. Not really what you'd expect from a Toro Rosso driver. Quite a way off his teammates, 6 attempts. But I mean, that's incredibly close for 3rd to 10th to only be 6 attempts. Definitely a sign that the midfield battle is going to be juicy. Expert Almond has made his way back out as well, by the way, in other news. As Welty's still on the same tactic of being very low on fuel on the hard compound tyres. We're on board with Jolly as he comes through turn number 5. Lovely broadcast shot there as he comes through the kink at 6 and out towards 7 and 8 for the moment. Looks all relatively tidy. Yellow flag in sector 3, and that is actually for LCR Lives, who is going at a crawl. Nice to see him back out of the pits after he set a very early qualifying S run with 20.5. Maybe as the rubber's laid down, he should be able to find some more time. Of course, the track was green at the start of the session, but now we've had 15 guys set multiple laps, so it should be all lovely and ready to go for this qualifying, and actually a good chance for him to do a cheeky little qualifying run. Of course, like I said before, not as much power as these guys normally do get in the race. He comes out of turn number 15 up towards the long kink at 16, now up to the line for Jolly, and he's going to set a 20.419, so only a minor improvement. He jumps LCR Lives, but remember, he's just started a lap. He's amazing, he's just about to start one as well. Expert Almond, by the way, 20.045, P3 for the ex-pro driver. Fantastic drive, fantastic lap from him. So he nearly moves up, but still 6 attempts off the 2 leaders of Verstappen and Leopard. Still plenty of time to find, as we're just in a yellow flag in sector 3. Who has had a moment. Doesn't want to be anyone, wants to be a retirement potentially. I believe, as we're all good, the yellow flag has cleared, so no real sign of any trouble. There's 46 seconds left in the session, so everyone starting their final runs of the session. Expert Almond is 300 up on his own time through the sector 1 split. As he comes up through towards 7-8 and out towards turn number 9. We've got yellow flag in sector 2. Jigglypuff has had a moment there. One of the fast runners in the league has had a moment out of turn number 4. So that's not a good sign for him. Actually, no, sorry, it's turn 3. The corner just before. I thought that was the gravel trap for turn 3, but no, that's the long kink at 3. As Leopard is not going to become, so won't see any improvement from him. What about Verstappen? Can he top the time charts potentially? 700ths off him, so any minor improvement, and surely he will jump him, and we won't see another lap from Leopard. So, can he do it? That's the question. Almost are amazed at the moment, because he's very close at the moment. As we've just seen, the checker flag is out, as Drizzt's Revenge does not manage to improve. As we've just seen, Hayden there, massive improve. Fantastic lap from the Force India. First guy to get near to them, 19.839, and the other Force India comes in behind, 19.974. So a 10th between the two Force Indias, very close between them. But it's Hayden beating Amaze, massive lags right there for AOR Charlie. I will stick off board with him because that's not a nice on-board camera to stick with. Who should we go on board with? Everyone else has retired. Last man out looks to be LCR Apex. We'll keep an eye on what Charlie does. I would have stuck on board with a massive bit of lag as we're just on board with Apex. No improvement for him. So just Apex up to the line, who's 2 seconds off his nearest competitor. Surely he's going to have some more time. He is round the final corner up to the line. It's a 21.392 for him. Welty, by the way, did not actually set a lap in qualifying. We've seen him out. We did see him out on the hard tyres a few times, but no actual fast lap by him. So he is last out of all of us. So the run down of the field while we wait for Verstappen to retire. So it's Leopard fastest in practice, 700ths quicker than his Tier 1 Padre in the Mercedes of Tier 1 Verstappen. Then you've got Hayden, who for some reason has a 5-post grip, and hopefully we can resolve that with some sort of issues, because of course we are now going to jump into qualifying, so hopefully we might have to go set up a new lobby, so apologies if we do have to do that. So it's Hayden in 3rd. Then you've got ESR Amaze, the other Force India, 4th place. Expert Almond in 5th. And then you've got Toro Rosso of AOR Charlie, Sauber of Jigglypuff in 7th, F1 Ben in the Red Bull 8th, and then 9th and 10th, Buddlelord and McLaren, and Drizzt's Revenge. And look further down the grid, we have Jolly, Lives, Groansy, Apex and Wellesley. Every person in the lobby set their fast lap on the soft tyres, so it was almost as if all of these are quali sets, so may potentially see some of these guys in these positions for qualifying. But here we go. We're just now about to jump in for the qualifying session. Hopefully we won't have any issues with Hayden's problems, because we are now loading in. We do have KRC Gianni in the lobby, so he is now in. I don't think he actually took control in qualifying, so... But this is it now. This is where it matters. It was all well and good setting fast times in practice, but now this is where it matters. Welcome to qualifying here for the Spanish Grand Prix. I am your host, as I did mention before, F-Nuts on Nuthead. If you're just tuning in, we're ready to go. And don't forget, you can tune in to the pro stream via www.twitch.tv/Jess92 instead of tuning in to us. Because, of course, first time we'll see them live is just in Jigglypuff make his way out. He is the first guy to come out the pits with 6 laps of fuel on board, interesting to know. So maybe potentially try him for 2 laps. He's on the soft compound tyres and he is the first man out. With still 11.5 minutes to go. But yeah, do feel free to tune in to them as well. And don't forget as well to get signed up for the Forza League, the LMP Endurance Series that starts next week for LCR. An interesting and fantastic opportunity, which I for one will be tuning into. And sadly I do not have Forza, but I will be tuning in to make sure I can find out the results whenever I can, similar to their very much success they had in the Formula E series. Don't forget to tune in for that. But we are now underway for what really matters, round number 5 here at Spain in the Catalunya circuit, and I for one cannot wait. It's Catalunya, it's Barcelona, whatever you wish to call it. Most importantly, there's one thing that's crucial about it. It's the Spanish Grand Prix in the LCR. So we're on board with Jigglypuff, who is the first man to looking to be to start his lap. He's got a bit of lag going on, which of course we have seen in previous where he's had a bit of lag issues. Of course he has lagged out. A few complaints going on in the chat about some incidents, but it's enough about practice. It's more about qualifying. The Jigglypuff is just about to start as he comes up towards turn number 16. This is going to be an on-board lap with Jigglypuff and see what he can do on the run up towards turn number 1. You expect to see these guys hit around about 205, 206 miles an hour. Potentially, it looks as if you only get 203, so my apologies. Through turns 1 and 2, you want to get that nice and smooth for the run up towards 3, which should be all flat if you can take it right. He's doing his best to fight it, and he's done it beautifully. He's short shift up in the 7th, up towards turn number 4 now. Braking beautifully. Misses the apex, but you want to take a late line here. Come out wide to prepare yourself for turn at number 5 to get back on the racing line through the long kink in left hand of this turn number 5. Bit of oversteer for him, of course, but he manages to correct that beautifully. Now through 7 and 8. Of course, 6 was just back at the bridge. You want to make sure you get it right because it is a rather uphill climb. Easy to get on the grass on the left hand side. Now through the long right hander that is viewed to be flat. You'd think it was, but it's very much a ballsy corner through turn 9. Now the secondary straight up towards turn number 10, which is very easy to slide out a high amount of fuel. And Jigglypuff sliding not as though tomorrow and having a huge issue through 11 and 12, and now he's sliding through 12. He's dropped it, so he is not. That's not a good lap from Jigglypuff. We're hoping to maybe potentially see some better stuff from him come later on in the session, but not a good start for him. Groansy is just about to start. Welty's going incredibly slow there to start his lap, by the way. A few guys on the mediums, Jolly and F1 Ben at the moment. I'm trying to find someone who will be close to completing the lap. We'll stick with LCR Lives, a man who topped the practice sheet early on, but then didn't manage to find the time and fell right the way down into P8. So not a good practice in the end. As actually, just now, our Charlie topped the charts there in the Toros with a 19.902. What about Lives? Can he beat him up around the final corner? He does. 19.516. Fantastic lap for the Ferrari. Kind of top 70. It's a bit of confusion going on there with Hayden, and I believe that was TMR Apex. TMR Leopard does top the time in the other Williams, by the way. 18.874 there. I know because you can't see that because of the, unfortunately, the poor quality, but that is fastest for the Williams for the moment. Jolly in at the Torosso just at 20.440. Then you've got Expert Harmony just going on to 19.447, so a second credit from Jolly, but still a good 6/10 off of Leopard. So Leopard looking unfazed at the moment. And with VVR Fredster, no sign in, nowhere in sight. That's a good lap. Ben, 19.791 beats AR Charlie there. And then we just had ESR Maze as well on the mediums. So 3 guys on the mediums, 4 for ESR Maze for the moment. Battlelord, 20.078. LER Lives, I believe, just came. No, I won't LER Lives, sorry. My apologies. KRC Gianni, 19.646. As ESR Maze is on another lap here, so do keep your eye on it. He was held up a little bit through turn 3, a bit hindered. Groensey currently bottom of the timesheets. Then Verstappen just makes it even worse with 56.286. Surely the lad's got more time to find after what we saw in practice. 20.739 from Groensey in the Renault. So not a too bad first lap, but he is currently bottom of the timesheets. Hopefully we'll see some more time coming out of him. Hayden, who's just come around turn 5, looks to be on a lap in the other force. And of course, his teammate currently in P5 on the medium. So fantastic lap for Amazed as Leopard and Liv both diving in massively wide there at turn 9, getting into the gravel trap. Hayden using every bit of track he has possible to use, and then some. Comes through turn 10, misses the apex, but it's all good through 11 and 12. Doing his best to try and not spin it like Jigglypuff did, and he doesn't, he gets away with it. Jigglypuff's made his way back out, by the way, through 13 up towards the chicane at 14 and 15. He comes, and it looks all relatively tidy for him. Now up through the final corner, looks rather picks it up nice well in the last sector, and he does go P4. He beats his teammate by a temp 19.642, beats Gianni there by 500, sorry, but then Gianni absolutely smashes it in the McLaren 19.226. He's P3 for now. Expert is still in P2 and 2 temps off of Leopard. I believe I did miss that, so my apologies if I did. But your current order at the moment is Leopard, Expert Armand, Gianni, Livs, Hayden, Amazed and Ben were both on the medium, so good laps for them. Charlie, Bodlord, Jolly ran out the top 10 on the mediums. Groensey in 11th, and Verstappen, who has made his way back in, is in currently last, but that is not a competitive time for him, so do not worry. If there was the 107% rule, he would be miles out of it, so do not worry about that. Expert Armand is exploring different parts of the track there at turn number 10. Similar to what Leopard did, gone on a bit of a journey on the wrong part of the track. As Leopard, by the way, is now on his way back out. But Johnny has run out of fuel at turn 9, so he's got a long crawl back to the pits. As everyone would appear to be making their way back in, except potentially Jigglypuff. We'll stick him on again, see what this time he can do. As he comes out of turn 5. So yeah, my apologies about the track map. I was hoping to give you a nice guide on board with Jigglypuff, but instead I could not. A massive amount of lag. That could be a sign that may potentially see some lag and coming from him in the race. We hope not, of course, but his teammate is not here, so Jigglypuff will be the sole Sauber today, wearing the flag, flying it high. So that might mean that in terms of the constructors, they will be a bit of a disadvantage. Of course, Leopard doing a fantastic job at the moment. Apex has don't see all that from him yet, as again Jigglypuff sliding like there was no tomorrow. Come through turns number 13 through the chicane. And now finally the Catalunya corner, again he drops it. And again he drops it, and surely we'll dive into the pits again. Oh my goodness me, Jigglypuff's not having a nice qualifying section at the moment, can you tell? As everyone made their win except Leopard. Leopard is out with 4 minutes 27 to go. Still top, by the way, with 2 temps clear. And the question is what can the Williams driver do? As he's about to start another flying lap, so we'll stick on Williams, see what Leopard can do. As he runs up towards turn number 1, hitting speeds by the looks of about 203 miles an hour at the end. As he brakes towards turn number 1, get that fantastic hits the curve, lovely, and through 2, hitting both apexes, slings him out almost like a slingshot through turn number 3. Lovely swooping round up towards turn number 4, which he takes 5th gear, now down to 4th. Again, misses the apex, but that's kind of what you want to do. It's a weird corner, turn number 4. But now get on the race line for turn number 5. Locks up, which is very easy to do at turn number 5. Downhill, very, very, very easy. Now through 6 up towards 7 and 8. Of course, this uphill section, which is very easy to get wrong, get a bit of oversteer at. He gets that beautifully as well. Now through the long kink at right, and it looks like as if he just let go to the throttle early, so he can have enough to sort of sling him round in the end to keep full throttle as he exits it. Of course, slow in, fast out is the motto. Now through turn number 10. 3rd gear, sticking it high to make sure he doesn't get any wheel spin. Now through 11 and 12 is long right hander, which is turn number 12. Very easy to get wrong, and he's on the gravel. And he's sliding like there's no tomorrow through turn number 13. And that might surely be the end of that. He does skip across the chicane, and it will dive it into the pits. So what was looking like to be a good lap for him has gone all wrong. By the way, while we were on board with him, we did see Tier 1 Apex at a 20.494. P12 for him for now. Julius Avenger 20.114. But Welty, by the way, has just set a fantastic lap. Glad we didn't see anything from him free practice. Just at 19.276 there. 500ths, exactly 500, so exactly half a tenth off of Gianni, so we'll be very happy with that, as Amaze just about to start a lap. If he's managed to do a 19.739 on the mediums, imagine what he could do on the soft compound tyres. Pressure is going to be on Amaze. Of course, it's not easy to improve when you set such a good lap on a worse tyre. Still, if you muck up, it's very easy to not manage to improve. Buddlelord was the cause of the yellow flag, he was going very slowly. And just as mentioned, all out, I expect to see him back into the pits. Maybe potentially see some of these guys who are in the 20 get into the 19s before the end of the session. Hopefully, pole time we could expect to see a mid-18, judging by it at the moment, judging by the pace that we've seen out of some of the guys so far, especially with guys like Leopard, because he was absolutely on fire. And that lap looks so well connected, other than that small little itching second that he got wrong out of turn number 12. I'm more amazed though, as he just kind of turned on beautifully as well, took the right amount of traction, exactly what he needed to. Now towards turn number 10, locking up both tyres, was very easy to do so. Now through 11 and 12, he looks rather clean and smooth at the moment. No real issues for LCR Amaze. He's round turn number 12 beautifully. On towards the final chicane, which can hinder a lap. It's very easy to corner cut as well. Mounts it beautifully. Skips across it like it is absolute a hot knife through butter. Now through the final corner up towards the line. And Amaze goes fastest with an 18.791. Beats Mr. TOR Leopard by just under a tenth. So fantastic job for the Force India. And he tops the times with a minute to go. Well, there's the time, lads. Now go beat it. Fantastic from the Force India. His teammate as well is on his way out. I was expecting to see him set a decent time. We'll go on board with who's coming towards the end of the lap. Jolly's just about to start. Apex did improve there, 20.243. Still remains in P13 for now. But still yet to see. Jigglypuff doesn't look like he's going to see a lap from him, so he will start from the back, as he normally does. Of course, he normally joins late. We've seen him back on time this time, but this time he will start from stone dead last. That's guaranteed, unless someone gets disqualified, which I highly doubt. On board TOR Verstappen at the moment. Then we'll shift over. TOR Leopard's just about to start his lap. Expert Almond is just now coming from turn number 9. He is on his final flight lap. 13 seconds to go in the session. So it looks like we might be near enough towards crunch time for all these guys. On board with a Haas driver still. It's gone through 11 and 12. As we're just in chaos, see Gianni there improve at the final second, and he's got enough fuel, I believe, for another lap. As he's an 18.893, and this Amaze goes even faster, an 18.602, just about beating him. Welty just came in there by the looks of, oh no, sorry, Buddlelord, by the way, came in 19.684. So while one McLaren just climbed in P3, the other has got himself into the top 10 in P8. Expert Armand did not improve. I believe actually he did, but he did improve on position, so 18.943. TOR Verstappen goes fastest there. As we've just seen, Cassie Gianni been it there, but Verstappen fastest with an 18.584. There's the mid-18s we can expect to see. On board with Leopard at the moment, because he's just come out of turn 9. Keep your eye on what he does. LCR lives, as well as we've just seen another improvement there of Jolly. He's gone with a P6. 19 dead for him, so the Toro Rosso driver trying to wave the flag as best he can, as his teammate there has just absolutely smashed him with an 18.706. P3 for him on board with Leopard. Can he find some more time? He's down in P4. Some fantastic quick guys ahead of him, so some very quick laps. What about Leopard? What can the championship leader do to respond? He's round the final corner. He is up to the line, and it's an 18.3, and he goes fastest. And that is surely going to be that. We're on board with Livs. He does improve. 19 dead for him, so he climbed on the P7. And that is the end of that. It will be pole position for the Williams driver. And TOR Leopard doing exactly what he needs to do while EVR Fredster is not here. So here is your field for you. Leopard on pole, Verstappen second, TOR 1-2, but it's Williams against Mercedes who will come out on top. The Force India are made fantastic ever in P3. Then you got AOR Charlie in P4, who has then got X-Barman in the Toro Rosso Sandwich in P5, Jolly P6, Livs P7, Hayden P8, Welty P9, Buddlelord ran out top 10 in P10. Then you've got F1 Ben, Drizzt's Revenge, Lance Stroll apparently, Gronesy, Jigglypuff and Chaos Gianni got disqualified. So he was sitting very high and all of a sudden he's been disqualified and will start this race from the back, despite the fact we didn't see Jigglypuff set a lap. So we're in an interesting onboard here, not really too sure what's happening. I believe we're just about waiting to start. Normally we'd have actually a timer come up instead of a straight up information, so I hope this isn't a glitch. But we'll have to wait and see as to what happens. Of course, we do have the formation lap to get out of the way first, and then we will go racing. So hopefully it should be all good. I'm not really too sure what's happening here. You don't normally have the spectator thing straight away. You normally have to wait until we go. Hopefully this is just a new thing. Hopefully. So apparently we did miss. So apparently TOR Apex was apparently thingy. As we are now go for the formation lap. We are on the way. So in case you didn't run, in case you have short-term memory losses, I don't know how F1 Ben's been allowed to select. Of course, everyone being jumped off position due to a disconnect, I believe. But here is your field for you. Leopard on pole position. He's got his TOR compadre, as I will keep calling that. I love that word. Is P2, so TOR Verstappen P2. ESR Amazed in the Force India P3. Fantastic effort by him, you've got to say. Good chance for him to climb out the championship today. AOR Charlie as well. P4 in the Toro Rosso. Then comes the Pro Division, or ex-Pro Division Championship leader and current man who's doing fantastic. We've just seen a Toro Rosso bin in the moment. I realise Jolly had a moment turn 4. Let's hope he doesn't do that in the actual race. But Armand is P5. Jolly in the Toro Rosso, I did just mention, is P6. Good chance for him to climb up this championship, of course, as well today. LCR Lives P7 and the Ferrari Welty Red Bull driver P8. Bottlelord McLaren P9. F1 Ben, the other Red Bull, P10, so 8th and 10th for the two Red Bulls. Can't think to get some decent, consistent points in their championship constructors bid. Drizzle's Revenge P11. Gronesy P12. Hayden, surprising to see him down there in P13. He is number 13 and he will start from 13th. Jigglypuff in the end does start not stone dead last after he'd been pretty much 2 laps, but he will start from P14. He's pretty much used to starting near the back. And then KRC Jenny ran the field in 15th after a disqualification in the session after some good performances for him in qualifying as well. So he's gone very slow. In terms of tyre choices as well, by the way, interesting note, F1 Ben is currently on the hard compound. I don't know how he's been allowed to select that because he's 10th. But not really too sure. Drizzle's Revenge, Gronesy and Jenny all on the medium tyres. As everyone is starting to line up for the Grand Prix. Question is, who will lead into turn 1? Will it be Williams or will it be Mercedes? It's Mercedes power against Mercedes power, but it's championship leader against up-and-comer. Who will come out on top? TOR versus TOR, and ESR just behind with AOR just further behind them. So do keep your eye on it as they head towards turn number 1. Who's going to win? Leopard or Verstappen? Let's find out. Long pause as we get ready. All 15 cars, as we've got Welty there, the last car to park his car up in that P8 slot. And we are ready. 15 of the finest that LCR have to offer are ready to grace us here as they get ready for them traditional, them usual, them 5 red lights. I can't actually see them, and it is lights out. There they are now. They are now on. 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it is now lights out, and away we go. Decent start for looks like. I don't know what Charlie on the second row. He might go alongside ESR Maze. In the end, backs off at the start. Charlie with really poor starts. They're side by side between Verstappen and Leopard on the run towards turn 1. Who will get the move done? As they want Charlie on the defensive against Expert Armor as they go towards turn 1. Leopard running outside, Verstappen on the inside, and they forced down wide as Fierce on Verstappen. And now ESR Maze takes full advantage up to P2 as he's side by side through turn number 3. Who will get the move done as they run towards turn number 4? It's a Maze versus Verstappen. Fantastic start for Leopard as he gets the lead, but Verstappen fends it for now and holds that P2, but not able to take advantage as well. Expert Armor is up in a P4 as the Maze tries to dart it on the inside of him, but a good start by the looks of things for Leopard as he fended Verstappen off, and the Maze trying to take full advantage. Expert Armor, fantastic start. Bottlelord as well, and a fantastic start. Down at P9, terrible starts for Jolly by the looks of things, and then in the end it sort of petered out. The two Torossos have had an awful start by the looks of things. Terrible for them as Jigglypuff's even further behind, but heading up back towards the leaders. It's still Leopard who leads Verstappen, Amazed, Expert Almond, Bottlelord, we've got a yellow flag, and that looks like the AWR Charlie's at a moment. The Toro Rosso looked so good, he had such a good start by the looks of things, but it all went wrong for him on right towards turn number 1, and he's now spun it, and it looks like it'll be another bad day for AWR Charlie. But it's still the 2 TOR lads who lead with Mays in third, but it looks like as if no one's going to leave any inch as Expert Almond starts to drop off. He is 8 tenths behind. Butterlord as well, he's starting to drop off behind. Lives further second back, a lot of gaps forming, but Hayden as well, fantastic start for him. Jolly might look for trying to get a comeback drive. 2 pitters early on. Gronesy and F1 Ben, as well as Jigglypuff as well, all darting in. But AOR Charlie did retire, so we're down to 14 already after lap number 1. A chaotic, cagey start here in LCR. But it's still the top 3 remain the same with everyone else changing as Jigglypuff has retired. So it's a shame to see, really. Shame to give up so early after starting from the back, yet didn't set a lap in quali. But we're down to 13 already as AWR Charlie leaves the session immediately, not wanting to stay in for any longer than he has to. But the top 3 relatively remaining the same. Expert Almond is just behind though, so he might try and take full advantage. Of course, the Hash drive, you've got to remember he was a pro driver at the start of the season and has a chance here to maybe potentially be on for a podium in the World Division. Yellow flag in sector 1. I believe that might be for Jigglypuff, who's just now parking up. It is indeed. So we're all good in terms of that factor. But Leopard already fallen out an 8 tenths gap to Verstappen as they come through turn number 12. It's all relatively peaceful at the moment. Yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2. Is that for Jigglypuff, who's just retired? It was. Indeed, as we've got Cassie Jenny all over the back of Just Avenger, goes down the inside, and actually Just Avenger does a bit of damage on the front there, so actually lets him onto the fair game of his. Leopard sits the fastest lap, so he's starting to pull out a gap, 22.1 for him, and is currently 1 second clear, exactly 1 second clear of Verstappen. 8 tenths behind him is Mays. So the question is, what can Mays do? Can he continue to close up towards Verstappen, or will this turn into potentially, I mean, Leopard has an opportunity here to just disappear into the distance, as Almond is meanwhile sticking right to the back of a Maze here. Of course, these two battle. This will allow Verstappen to get away and become a 2-horse race for the lead. So he does not want that. But a fairly calm start near the front, but a cagey start at the back for everyone else. Unfortunately, we do not have the ability to watch replays, but I wish I could, because it looked fairly cagey at the moment, as we're on board, still sticking on board with Expert Almond. Let's have a brief look at fuel for the moment. So obviously people might be filling up for different amounts. Verstappen got half a lap less fuel, half a lap more than Leopard early on. As meanwhile we do have Expert Almond going fully rich, absolutely going for it in these early stages. ZR lives is all over the back of Butterlord here, by the way, for P5. McLaren and the Ferrari, who will come out on top. Of course, famous rivalry in racing. It looks like I might go to blows here in the LCR, so we'll have to wait and see as the DRS course is enabled and a lot of rich available to use for LCR Lives. He starts to close up as Hayden has just passed Jolly there in the final corner, but up towards turn number 1. Lives is down the inside of Butterlord. Butterlord does the best he can to squeeze him out, and there's been a contact half spin for Butterlord. He only fully spins. There's huge contact with Welty behind. Welty surely picked up front wing damage from that, and a huge collision has caused chaos between the two with Livs and Bottle. I'm sure a bit of stewards inquiry about Hayden is now down the inside of Welty. Surely he can't defend this. He lets Jolly go as well. Fair driving from him, but Livs are in a P5. Hayden and Jolly climb up to P6 and 7. Butterlord, who was involved in that incident, has got full front wings, so he's still okay as Chaos Jenny retires. There was no damage or anything to him. He's just decided to park up, so we're down already to 12 in this Grand Prix. A lot less than what you'd probably predicted at the start. So anyone putting their bets on about how many drivers we're going to finish, we're already down to 12. So Jolly and Hayden look like it might be a battle here. Two guys you'd expect to see a bit further up in the field are for 6th place at the moment in this battle, so it could be a rather good battle to keep your eye on as they come through the long sweeping right hand of this turn number 12. But it's a very unusual start in TOR. But we've got to say, unfortunate for Welty, he was definitely the innocent bystander in all of this, and didn't really deserve what he got. You know, picking up that front wing damage, he is going to pit, which will promote Butterlord back up in a P8. But a shame really for him. It's a bit like a 5-second stop go. Can you just be any more harsh, Cody's, please? 5-second stop go for Welty for speed in the pit lane. as if that man's day can't go from any bad to worse. It's been a poor fourth lap for him. Meanwhile, F1 Ben is down inside of Gronesy here at the chicane, and he's going to try and stick it in his Gronesy through the chicane. Surely not. They're still side by side, barging each other all out of the way, and Ben gets the move done for P10 for now, or does he? Gronesy might try and come back at him and up towards turn number 1. The DRS scores. This is for one solitary point, but they're both battling as if this is for the first place. And there's Welty. His teammate just come out on the right-hand side, up towards turn number 1. The Renault tries to go on the outside. He brakes later, but he spins it in the process, going too far down in the gears. Spins himself up and spins it out. But now it might be Red Bull's going to blows as Welty has got his teammate just behind him, F1 Ben. But it doesn't look like if his teammate's going to be close enough for now. He tries to shift to the inside, though, to sort of say, yep, I am here, and I might try and go for the other better tyres, of course, is F1. Ben tries to dart on the inside of his teammate at turn number 5. Sort of what we saw earlier between Ricciardo and Verstappen. Apologies if you haven't seen the Grand Prix yet, but there was a fantastic battle between them. But Ben gets the move done on Welty, and that's him on a P9 for now. So Ben climbing himself in position after just defending one. Because Gronesy's in a bit of a moment, and loses himself out a lot of time. He's heading up back towards the lead by Verstappen is slowly being closed up here by LCR and Mays. So the question is can Verstappen keep him fended off? 2 seconds, by the way, is the gap between the leaders, as Leopard continues to pull out as he usually does. EVR Fredster once said to me that he's a man that he can get the lead and keep it for miles and miles, but it's getting into the lead. That's the bit that he finds difficult. So it'd be interesting to see, of course, if he can back that up. I should have hopefully a co-contact on him in just a moment, which would be nice to see. Jigglypuff left the session, so shame to see him retire so early after, you know, he could have potentially been on for a good result. It was an alternate strategy from him. But instead, this time, poor day for him. And instead, he is, unfortunately, looking forward to next week in LCR, which unfortunately I can't make. Shame really, but unfortunately I cannot make it due to work. I'll be back for next week, don't you worry about that. I'm not going forever. I know you guys love me so much. No, you really don't. So come through turn number 16. It's lap number 7, of course. So we can expect these guys potentially come in within a few laps. Maybe lap 10 if you want to try the one stop. As it's amazing, he's massively close up to Verstappen. This could be a crucial move here for P2. He does have a look down the inside, but doesn't really think too much of it as Verstappen. Looking slidey at the moment. We're on board with a force in with a lovely broadcast shot of alongside. We're sort of roughly what he'd see in terms of eye level. As X-Bomber is still in this battle, he's about a second behind, so he's not out of this. So he still is very much on for it. And of course, any mistakes on these guys, and he will be right on top of them. Of course, the lad who will continue to mention started in the Pro Division, do not forget, and now all of a sudden has popped up in the World Division, which is a tough hurdle to jump. It's a very much bigger gap than what you normally see, and he's done himself absolute justice in the Haas. As we've just seen Verstappen there run a little bit wide out of turn number 9. He was on the gravel. That was him that brought the gravel up and away, but he's all okay for the moment. Still stick on board in this lovely broadcast shot, lovely helicopter shot as they come through turn number 12. As I will quickly do apologise for the brief pause, as I'm actually now going to get the man in. As it is actually the owner of LCR I have coming in. Unfortunately, the man that tried to take part in this race, but unfortunately disconnected at the wrong time. So sadly, he will not be a part of the race, but instead will probably join me in the combox, which would be nice to see. So LCR Apex, it'd be a pleasure to have you in. I hope you're actually watching at the moment and be able to jump in nicely. As Mays continues to stick behind Verstappen. Now it's a question of course, we're getting near to the first round of pits. Do you try and undercut here to psych your opponent and, you know, get a chance to get out ahead, or do you just stick to your guns and stick to your original strategy? This is why it's always important. You know, you can plan for a race, but you can never quite predict what happens in the race. The exact same way in football, where you can predict and practice taking a penalty, but you can never quite match the feeling of what it's like in the middle of the stadium. That's what it's all about. It's all about changing environments. So it's interesting to see as to what these two guys do. So when one of them maybe tries to fake it out, of course you can't do what they do in real life, of course, where they have the pit crews come out and fake the pit stop. But instead you can sort of try and veer towards the pits and say, yeah, I'm going in, and at the last minute shift out to then get away with it, because then that leaves yourself vulnerable. As Jolly was all over the back of Hayden here for turn number 12. So he's still sticking to the back of the Toro Rosso driver. Free step timing for Groendy, by the way, multiple warnings. First guy to pick up a free step timing, I believe, as Jolly just butchered that, like you would never believe. It's not going well for the Toro Rosso after what looks to be a poor start. He's still on for a comeback because he only started 6th. Good start for Hayden, you've got to say. He was way down there in P13. He looks to have a lot of work ahead of him, and he's done a fantastic job early on. Everyone else roughly staying the same. Nothing really is in too many positions, because early stoppers we did see. So F1 Ben Welty, Drizzle Cement and Gronesy is there. He is. The man, the myth, the owner of LCR, Mr. LCR Apex. How are you doing, my friend?
Hello, sorry. Right, I will be just 2 seconds, because I just, as you may have noticed, I was racing this race with TR Apex, and I just realised that if I stay on this account, I'll probably kick games.
Alright.
Yeah. Hi, yeah. Not to interrupt you during your flow, but I have been watching this race a little bit. I've seen a lot of people have spread out, and I know that Leopard's leading as well, so good news for me, personally. But, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you in here. Pleasure to have someone in the combots. It gets a bit lonely every so often in the combots. Let me tell you that much. As Jolly picks up that time penalty. Multiple warners. We've got Verstappen in the pits, by the way. Mercedes driver, I believe, reserve, has dived it in. So, just like I said, he was going to probably try and undercut. He goes onto the hard, so we would expect to see him go to the end. Now it's all about a maze. He's got it in rich. Can he go for this lap and potentially undercut as well? We have seen Livs and Hayden, sorry, overcut, that's the word I meant. Livs and Hayden both pitting as well. Medium tyres for Livs, but hard tyres for Hayden. Budlord as well when the McLaren dives it in. So a lot of guys coming on lap number 10, but we've still got Jolly, Almond, Amaze and Leopard still yet to pit. They've all stayed out. But now the pressure is on the guys like Amazed to keep going on them warm softs. It's very hard to do. What you do starts to spin up the tyres, lose a bit of traction here and there. So it's going to be crucial for him to not lose too much time. Because of course on fresh tyres it's very much quicker, even if they are too worse in terms of the compound. So it's going to be vital for them to do themselves some justice. What do you think,
It's not looking good for It's not looking good for Butter, because he's just come out the pits and he's caught in the middle of a Red Bull sandwich. And Ben actually gets too much curve going into turn 3 and absolutely loses it into the wall off the gravel. That's a front wing gone. It's not a tyre gone, unfortunately for him. And it just adds to the suffering, and he chooses to retire from the race. I can't fault that decision, to be honest. I think that wasn't even like, I wouldn't even pin that on dirty out on Butter, to be honest. I think he just got a little bit too much on the curb in turn 3. And as I'm sure you're aware, the AstroTurf is not really curved, it's AstroTurf, so that means the car just goes into a spin. And Brownsley actually loses it out turn 4. They're basically the same thing, but with grass instead. He's lost a lot of front wing, and he's back on the track. Is he going to continue? It looks like he is, but whoa, bit of a dodgy 6-1 some of the lower runners there, but Butterlord, well, he doesn't have a Red Bull behind him, but now he's definitely chasing Welty. Some of the front runners are pitting.
We have ESR Mays just come out. He's going to come out behind Verstappen, but he's definitely stuck to the back of him. X-Balmer has also dived in, as well as Jolly. Where is Hayden? There is Hayden. There is Jolly on the right-hand side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see. And it's going to be close, but it looks like they're going to remain the same, with Hayden ahead of Jolly for now, for that battle for P6. I mean, come on, these guys are definitely two guys you'd expect to see near the front. So a battle for P6 might be a little bit viewed as peasantry for them, but they will take it for the moment. Leopard's still not in, by the way. 24 seconds.
Lord and Welty are battling turn 1. I hate to interrupt, but they are battling through turn 1. I think Butterlord just had a bit of the DRS slipstream help going on there. I'm not sure if we've got a slipstream going on or what's happening with that, but Butterlord did try and move on Welty into turn 1, but well defended by Welty. Dolly and Hayden, as you mentioned, are really right next to each other, and Leopard continuing out, despite it being lap 11, still on the softs. As Brownlee pits.
It is. It's a sad day for the runner. We've got to say fair play to him for sticking it out. You know, when you do get front wing damage or something like that and you're so far down, frustration gets to you, just think, now I've screwed this under the leads. So fair play to the Renault driver for sticking it out, and hopefully, maybe potentially, you know, if strategy goes the right way, there's always a chance for him to come back in. If someone has a bin or something like that, there's always a chance. You know, he can probably go to the end, he's just gone to the hard tyres. So, you know, maybe potentially see him come near the arse in the points. And Liv sets the fast lap, 29.973s all over the back of Expert Almond here on the run up towards turn number 1. The question is, can he get a move done through turn 1. It looks like he's too far back now through turn 2. Of course, on the mediums, we need to get him moved on ASAP to make sure he gets this 2-stop, which he will be on, work as he runs towards turn number 4. This is vital for the Ferrari driver. He does shift to the inside, but just not quite there. Fantastic late braking, but he's still trying it round the outside through turn number 4 towards turn number 5. Oh, we're going to do his best though, defend it down the inside of him through turn 5. They're side by side, and in the end, up towards the king that is 6, and he gets the move done just about. Lives fantastic bit of driving, fantastic courteous driving by the pair of them. Leave each other space, but Lives on the better tyres, does get the move done round the outside. So a lovely bit of driving in the next, but I went in the gravel there, sliding through turn 9. Colin McQueen-esque, as I did say earlier, Leopard pits. Race leader does dive in. He's lost 2 seconds to Verstappen here ever since he did pit. 22 seconds. Now, is that enough? Because it might be close. You never know. It is soft tyres. No, hard. I hate the graphics. I hate it.
No.
It just tricks me.
It's terrible. It's happening to me as well.
It got me all excited and everything. But there is the Verstappen. There is Leopard. And he's definitely closer. Up towards turn number 1. You couldn't quite predict it. But there's a late stop for Leopard. Because he's now got better tyres, so can he get away from Verstappen? But this is Verstappen's opportunity. They come through turn number 3. Different lines, of course, because he came out of the pit road. Leopard onto the AstroTurf, round the inside, goes Verstappen for the race lead, and he takes full advantage of it. Fantastic job, because Leopard, of course, was on cold tyres. He's still trying to get his tyres up to temperature, and Verstappen takes full advantage of it and has the race lead, steals it from his Tier 1 compadres. So Verstappen leads, Leopard second, and this has opened up all sorts of avenues.
That's not helped Leopard in regards to Amaze either, because Amaze is all the way down. He's going to probably, very easily, he might be able to get within a second to get into DRS, so we could have a 3-way battle for the lead. But it was amazing for Verstappen to have the wherewithal to position his car in such a way that it looked like he was trying to go for a switchback, but as you said, because of Leopard's compromised line and compromised tyres because of the fact that they were cold, it meant that Verstappen was just able to capitalise. That was like a delayed undercut there, and Amaze is within a second of Leopard. So Leopard, that might be, you might be paying for that ever so slight mistake due to the fact that he's now got Verstappen ahead of him. He's now got Amaze behind him. He's very confident he can win this race, but he's going to have to put the foot down and try to make it work. He's behind try and move into Verstappen.
He is. He's got the pressure on now. It's similar to what we saw last time out. It seems to be a bit of a recurring theme in LCR where we always seem to get the top 3 going. I don't quite know what that's about, but I like it. I hope it continues. But yeah, it looks like we might have a bit of a 3-way battle, but Leopard is definitely the one that looks the quickest out of him. He looks cagey, he looks feisty to get that lead back, because of course he pretty much had the race in his hands, but just a late pit stop has cost him. But of course now with these fresher tyres, he surely must be able to get the move back done. Of course, championship leader, so he's got to get the move done. His championship rival, EBR Fredster, is not here. This is a chance for him to extend the championship lead out to almost a race where he doesn't even have to finish. And Fredster can win, he'll still be in the championship lead, which would be incredible given how early we are in the season. So it's a good opportunity for Leopard. The pressure's on. Verstappen, of course, and Amaze, they're both looking to climb their way up.
Oh, that's a wide line going into the hairpin. Leopard, that is compromising him. Yeah, again, he just needs to get his head down. I don't know if he's getting affected by the dirt, but he's getting so much wide lines through these corners. It seems like Amaze is just trying to sneak his car. Amaze is definitely making a gap up, like about half a second that last lap. So Leopard needs to really try and get his head focused. I know it's very easy for him to just kind of be like, oh, I need to maybe just get a little bit distracted. There's a yellow flag that takes 2. That's bottled spinning down straight.
From wing. Out turn 9 on towards 10. I mean, he's got 32 seconds to suspension, should be all good. But I mean, still up towards, by the way, Jolly's just on, there was about 2 temps then, and all of a sudden then Jolly just lost loads of time, so before he comes for a move. But it's interesting in terms of Leopard. There's always something that Fredster said to me, I said to him in practice. He's someone who's, if he can get into the lead and he can get away, he is unbelievable. He's got such rapid pace as Bottlelord does with tyre. He's binned it in the wall, massive wall.
He actually crashed into the wall, yeah.
Yeah, massive wall, but turn number 12.
He actually lost that.
Yeah, he looks like there's no front wing, so it's easy to do. With so much less traction than what you're used to. Even a minor bit of front wing can cost you around about half a second to around about a second a lap. So when you've lost all of it, you're going to lose loads of time. But yeah, going back towards what I said about Leopard, he's someone that if he can get to the lead and dominate, and just carry on as he was in the first stint, he can just get away, and he's got so much rapid pace. But when you put him in a situation like this, when he's got cars around, he needs to get past someone. He seems to struggle. He's almost like the Mercedes in real life Formula 1, where he's just not good in the dirty air. And you know, sitting behind somebody, just doesn't quite have it. Which is why earlier in the race, you know, he got a fantastic start against Verstappen. He absolutely led off and just was minding his own business. And all of a sudden, this late stop seems to maybe have been his downfall, but we've still got miles to go in this Grand Prix. Still 17 laps, so it's not over at all. But he's got to get past, and Verstappen is someone who is going to be very difficult to pass, given the pace that we've seen from him from practice through quali. It's a fantastic job from him, and he's definitely someone to keep your eye on.
Down into 6th and 7th, we've got Jolly right behind Hayden going into turn 1. I've been doing myself a favour and keep an eye on this battle as they progress, and Jolly is trying to, I'm not sure when these two hit, I know these two definitely hit on pads, but I'm not sure when exactly they hit it, but they're probably on equal treading tyres, and as you mentioned before, Jolly, these are two people you would expect to be down at front, never mind competing for 6th and 7th, but here they are. Jolly has been chasing Hayden for quite a few laps, and it seems like he's just about ready to get the move done.
Oh, Groansy's had another moment.
Or wing intact at the very least.
Yeah.
Keep going, that's fine.
It's not going too bad for him. He's still got a point, so think of the positives. always think of the positives in big racing, because then you start to get down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this battle is interesting to enjoy, because like nobody's gone for like a move or anything. It's just they've both kept exactly the same with one another, you know. But they're just sort of toppling and tailing. Maybe they might try and work together, try and close up to Almond or something, maybe potentially. Because of course Almond is doing a fantastic job at the moment. He's now 3 seconds off of Lewis, because Lewis has another stop to do as well. Another yellow flying in sector 2. Is that Groansy again? Yep, he has binned it, and he's retired. That is
that's the whole thing.
Turn number 9. No, where? No, it's at the second DRS straight.
Yeah, it's way off. I don't know what happened there.
That's what Leopard did.
Turning into a bit of a race of attrition. Yeah. Turning into a bit of a race of attrition. We started with 16, but now we're down to 9. And it says 15, obviously, because of some. Oh, somebody's balled out. That's Almond.
Oh, no, it's Almond.
Balled outside of turn 3. Turn 4, sorry. He got too much curving onto the grass, and he's lost his front wing. Should keep going because it's guaranteed points today, but that is a massive shame. He was running really hard.
Yeah, I hate to commentate as cursing, but I kind of just have, haven't I? I said he was running really well, and half a lap later he goes and drops it at turn 4. So, yeah, sorry, Alvin. My apologies, buddy. Hopefully the race can. I mean, obviously he does stick it out. You know, there's still 9 guys in, so he's still guaranteed at least 2 points. But he's miles ahead of George's Avenger. Should be able to come into the pits, get a front wing change, go again. He's just been passed by Welty. Can't to be expected. But ESR Macewell has dropped back 2 seconds from Verstappen and Leopard, because Leopard is very close to his TOR compadre. I still continue to love that word. As Almond does retire, that's surprising.
Excuses and out of this race. There's only 8 drivers left. This is getting into old school TOR territory. No, not TOR, sorry. Getting LCR territory here.
You've just absolutely murdered the league.
Let's go, whatever. We're getting into old school LCR territory here, because smaller driver numbers, I don't think that is inherently a bad thing as long as they're close together. And we do have 2 battles going on. We have Leopard and Verstappen, and Jolly and Hayden, but it leaves you to wonder what's going to happen to everybody else. I think we're just kind of feeling the wrath of the fact that if you don't keep on the black stuff, it's a pretty slippery track between the AstroTurf and the grass, so a lot of people are feeling the wrath of that.
Oh, Leopard's gone for a dive bomb!
Into the hairpin!
Oh, unorthodox. I didn't quite expect that, but through turn 10 he did try it. That's a knock on the door from this. That's a knock on the door from Leopard saying, right, I want this. And that's a sign that he is ready to fight, but a bit surprising as Jolly meanwhile was down inside of Hayden. Oh my goodness me! You cannot quite run this turn 18.
11 and 12.
Oh, synchronised diving-esque, but they're still side by side. This is unbelievable. Now for a turn 13, and Hayden, just about. That could have been absolutely crucial, but some brilliant bit of racing between both the guys that we had, and all of a sudden, synchronised diving-esque. Exact same symmetry almost, but neither of them get the move done in the end. But Jolly has got a bunch of DRS.
Jolly is back on it.
He's going to try it, surely into turn 1. This might be clinical stuff for him. He does shift to the inside. He's going to try it down the inside. Hayden turns in nicely though and sort of blocks him off at the right moment. Doesn't block him off too late in the end. But of course the better line here, thinking multiple corners here, because of course Hayden will run wide here as expected on the AstroTurf, but he controls it beautifully there in the end. I thought he was probably going to a bit more wide than he did. Fantastic control from Hayden. Just about manages to make sure that he holds on that position. So some on-point stuff. Back up towards the battle between Verstappen and Leopard as they again come up towards turn number 10. Will he try the same thing again? He doesn't. No, he sits back. I was preparing myself for an exciting moment then, but nothing happened. It's all good. They come through 11 and 12.
Just to step in, like you said it before, when Leopard tried to move into 19, I think he was just trying to catch Verstappen sleeping. I think he was just knocking on the door, as you just said. And he's kind of trying to be like, right, I'm here, I'm battling for it. And I've kind of been looking at it while we were looking at Jolly and Hayden. That Leopard was like almost trying to go for the inside line every corner in order to just kind of tell Verstappen, like, I'm not giving up. Like, there's no part of the circuit where I'm not going to try and overtake you. I'm going to try and catch you sleeping. And he's just getting up to behind him into turn 1. Verstappen did a much better job of creating a gap in sector 3. But that is definitely a battle. Like, there's no long and short of it. As Jolly is also on the back of Hayden.
Fantastic run, by the way, by Leopard up towards turn number 4. He's got a fantastic run out of 3. Breaks later. He might get onto the grass. He does and doesn't get the move done. Fantastic bit of defending. Meanwhile, Jolly has got past Hayden. Through 1, the switchback might be on for Hayden. Through long right hand. This turn number 3, sorry. On the run down towards turn number 4. Looks like Jolly might have to move on for now, but he still sticks defensive. Hayden breaks later around the outside. Through turn number 4, they're still side by side. Verstappen gets on free to the top of that crucial area. On the one towards turn number 5, down on the inside goes Hayden. Still trying his best. There's a bit of contact. Body to body, mouth to mouth, wheel to wheel.
Whoa.
And Jolly fends it for now. I didn't quite mean that one. I got a bit excited then. But Jolly fends it for P5 for now in a fantastic bit of racing, and in the end gets the move done that he's probably been waiting so long to do. But the question is now, can Hayden come back at him? Up towards turn number 10, he tries but contact with the back of him. I don't think he's quite expecting Jolly to break that early. But in the end, he just about manages to get out. Of course, thank goodness for reduced damage, because that could have been a bit catastrophic.
Meanwhile, hold your breath. Leopard is trying to move on Verstappen. He's gone defensive, but Leopard's straight line speed is paramount in closing that gap. Verstappen seems to be pulling out a nice gap out of sector 3 every single time. And speaking of gaps out of sector 3, Jolly has already created over a second gap to Hayden. Oh, jeez, that was
He's trying on the inside.
Between
turn 4. There's contact. Verstappen's at a half spin. Leopard's onto the grass. Amazing that comes by the corner, and he probably can't believe his luck. But Leopard has now dropped time to him, and that's surely going to cost him as he runs wide out of 5. That could have been race crucial. That could have 12 laps to go, and the two leaders have come together. Who would have quite expected that?
So Leopard kind of nudged Verstappen's rear right tyre out through the corner, and I think Leopard realised that the only place he could have gone was on the grass, and then realised that he had hit Verstappen. So I think Leopard intentionally kind of held back. So, like, you know, he probably identified that was his fault, but the trouble is, because he got on the grass, he lost so much time to not only Verstappen, but Amaze, who's now going to be gunning for him. And Livs, let's not forget Livs on the fresh mediums. He's going to have to stop one more time, but at the very least, he is actually gaining onto Amaze, so we could not only see a 3-way battle, but Livs could make this, at least temporarily, a 4-way battle for the lead, because he's absolutely charging on those mediums right now. He pits. He pits. Wow! Livs, can you do me a massive favour? And oh my god. Okay, right. 3-way battle at the very least.
Yeah, we've got a 3-way battle at least. That'll do.
Got a 3-way battle.
It's soft
tires, but he isn't the stops.
But I mean, it should come out behind Hayden, and the question is, can he close up? He should be able to on so much better tyres, and the pace we've seen from Livs. But that number is Jolly on the P4, Hayden P5. It looks like Welty will come out behind because he's just up too far behind. But now Livs has got some clean air and the chance to set the fastest lap. So a good chance for Livs to put in a decent display and potentially still proceed over the P4 on that 7 seconds to Jolly. We're still, 11 laps to go, so a fair amount of time for him to come back. Looking at fuel-wise, by the way, everyone has pretty much burned off their XX fuel, except for Jolly, really, and Livs. Livs has got 1.5, Jolly's still got a lap. But the guys like Leopard, he's only got 0.4, Amaze 0.2. Verstappen 0.7, he's got the most out of the lot to use, but it's not a lot. Not as much as you see at the start when these guys are fueling up to about 2 laps and a half over what you normally see.
Just point out real quick, I just had a quick look in the race director. Verstappen, obviously, as you pointed out, does have a penalty, yellow flag detected 2. That's Welty gone around. Just out of the fast left, right. Left has fast left on 1 hard. You can see how much he's pushing right now. He's lost balls. That's weird. Don't know what's happening there. But just to quickly mention, I was looking at the race director. Verstappen does have a 3-second time penalty, as you mentioned. But Leopard did pick up 2 warnings while he was trying to battle Verstappen. Leopard's back. Don't know what happened there. But point is that Verstappen really right now is only barely hanging. Well, barely is in second place because Leopard has dropped back. He was forced for an extended period of time now. I don't know what's happened there, but he's actually lost so much time to Amaze as well. Amaze is right at the back of it. Can Leopard needs to stay at the very least within 3 seconds of Verstappen. He's also got 2 warnings while he was trying to overtake Verstappen. So Leopard's going to have to be towing the line, make sure he keeps on the back stop, but keeps within 3 seconds of Verstappen, and also keeping Amaze at bay right now. We've got a lot to manage.
He has. He's got a lot on his plate. I'm sure he won't appreciate that. I'm sure he'd have wished that he had as much as he had at the start of the race when he was, cruising around about 3-4 seconds clear and just in Wonderland, and all of a sudden, that late pit stop. I mean, that could come back to him because he pitted around about 3-4 laps later than Verstappen, so he's going to have that little bit extra to use in terms of his tyre wear near the end of the race. The Maze has just absolutely butchered turn 15, the second part of the chicane. Like, he has literally, I don't think I've ever seen anyone cut that so much, unless you've literally gone off onto the AstroTurf on the right. So yeah, not good display for Maze, but he's definitely close up to Leopard, like you say, because of course he randomly went AI through 1 and 2, and of course that's quite a quick section. So of course I believe it's set to medium difficulty AI, so of course that's going quite slowly. Liz does set the fastest lap, 20.5. It's all the back of Hayden now, right towards turn number 1 for P5. This is for down the inside, goes to 5. It should be a relatively easy move for him. He does get it nicely. Now the question is, will Hayden use sort of like the slipstream and stuff to gain back up to Jolly? It could be a bit of a strategy going on for him. I don't know about you, Apex. If you stick on with Hayden, does it look like he's got a lot of front wing damage on that front left? Minor amount, but that could have been from the impact.
It looks the same as the Maze for me. I'm trying to just swing too quickly, and the wings stay the exact same. But Hayden is going slower because of the fact that I noticed when Liz was trying to pass him, Maze actually just Hayden decided to just keep his car in lean, save a bit of fuel. Sometimes if you don't really want to battle someone who's overtaking you on the straight, you just stick it in lean and make them pass you. And it seemed like that's what he was doing right now. I've yet to see him go into rich. He's just kind of flicking between standard and lean right now. So whatever he's doing, he's conserving fuel, maybe for a late push, but he was letting Liz pass. I doubt he'd let Welty pass. No front wing damage, but definitely fuel conserving this time. Well, that's something as well Magical seems to.
Yeah, I hope he's not going to let Welty pass. He's 44 seconds behind him. I think that's not really going to be too much of an issue for him to have to worry about. But yeah, Hayden, like you said, saving maybe essentially for sort of maybe last minute push, because of course Livs has now got to get past Jolly, and I know for a fact that Jolly, he's got plenty of fuel to use. He's got, he's on the tyre. So 8 laps to go. Why wouldn't he have a go at Livs? He's got every single right to. Hayden might potentially be saving sort of in the hope that Jolly, really contests against Livs and gives him everything he's got, so he can catch right up and be very much in this battle. But Jolly is Livs' next target. Now, this is for P4, remember, so 12 points. So it'd be a very, very, very good day for the Swiss driver of Livs. I believe he's Swiss. Please do correct me if I've got that wrong.
He's Swiss,
got that right. Don't worry, I got a country one the other day which I got murdered for in the commentary. So I was hoping I got that right. I think I said Austrian, and I think they were something else. I can't remember what off the top of my head, but I got it massively wrong.
That's not even that kind of word.
Yeah. Let's not. Let's just stick to good old fashioned what we're at the moment. So yeah, the Swiss driver catching up to the Brit of Jolly. I know that one.
Wait.
Got that one right. But yeah, chance for Livs to catch up. It was all over the back of him through sector 3, because very difficult place to overtake. You might just wait for the DRS straight. Just get him nicely down inside towards turn 1. The chicane. I did see 2 people try and go side by side for that, but it's Gronesy and F1 Ben. 2 guys have been out of the race, so it kind of just says why you don't go side by side there.
Yeah.
But, it's a different strategy, but, you probably expect to try and get a better run out of this. Gone up towards turn number 1. He is gaining massively on Jolly on the run down. The Ferrari down the inside. He makes contact, and Jolly's forced over to bump across the speed humps, and he still retains that position for now as they come through turn 3. Livs squeezed out by Jolly. Oh my goodness, boys, be careful. careful. There's still 7 laps to go in this race, but Jolly defends it for now. He's still in P4, but this is crunch time for the pair of them. Can he get a something like Leopard?
I don't want to take away from the battle, but Leopard is right behind Verstappen. Is he going to try what he did before? Yes, he is. Down into turn 10. Late lunge up the inside, but this time he's done it clean. Verstappen's on the curbs, and that's it. Leopard's up into the lead, but can he keep his car on a straight line? He's gone absolutely wide into turn 12. To a side-by-side, still in consecutive 3. Leopard has to concede the position for the time being. He's gonna. I don't know what he was thinking of there. I don't want to be in his head right now, but unfortunately, that change line from the chicane has definitely scuppered his speed coming out this final corner. Can he get the move done? He's definitely pushing. Not sure if he's going to get it.
Trying to break the slipstream. He's up towards turn 1. Can he do it? Leopard on the inside, Verstappen on the outside lane, breaking from him, forced him out. He runs over the curb a little bit. Verstappen sticking to his guns though now through turn 3, of course, the better line. We saw him do this once, but of course that was on cold tyres. What about this time? He's got rich, he's got plenty of fuel to use. He's up towards turn 4. He does try and look to the inside, but that spooks Leopard. In the end, he does actually go for the fake out of him now through 4 up towards turn number 5. Down and outside through turn 5. Can he get the move done? This is unbelievable stuff between the two. And he looks like he might have just about done it. Through towards turn 6. And excuse me, my voice has never gone so high. I sound like I'm a choir boy, but Verstappen gets the move done. Back again. And Leopard gets himself a 3-second time penalty. So it's neutral ground. But Amaze will win out of nowhere.
Amaze is in the lead.
Who'd have thought anyone would have said that? Leopard down the inside again at turn 10. And he might have it this time. Verstappen fended it through 11. And he gets the move done, and the oversteer from Verstappen means that he's now lost the position for good. And what a lap we've just witnessed. It's Leopard leading, Verstappen second, but Amaze actually leads the Grand Prix.
Oh my god, Amaze only has one warning right now. When he has to demolish the chicane, that's the only warning he's got so far. So yep, Amaze is leading the Grand Prix, but he's got to keep up with these two drivers. The only reason he actually closed the gap was because these two are battling. They're still battling. Leopard's absolutely moving off the track a bit too much to try and break the slipstream, but it's not exactly succeeding because Verstappen's still within a second. Amaze has got to keep his cool right now because he is winning the race. So these two have either got to work together to try and get Amaze out of the picture, or they've got to keep battling and trying to hope that maybe whoever wins just runs away with it, because that's all they've got to hope for right now. Because Amaze seems absolutely in control of his car and in control of the race.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big opportunity for him at the moment to finally, he's got some very quick paces, Amaze, but I don't think anyone would expect him to be on for the race win at the moment. He showed some brilliant pace in quali and again in the race. He's just stuck with these two like super glue, and he's been the one that, it's all about the race. He's thinking about this 33 lap race. These two are acting as if, this is the final this is the Abu Dhabi finale, this is it, championship or nothing. But Amaze has thought more about the race as it's gone along, and a fantastic bit of racecraft at the moment means he does lead. But now it's crucial. Leopard has got 3 laps more better tyres than Amaze, I believe. So he's got much better tyre wear to use, and he's now ahead of Verstappen. That's what I meant to say. I can't even remember my words. I'm so flabbergasted by what we've just witnessed. I'm speechless. But Leopard with a fantastic opportunity, but he's got to get 3 seconds away from Amaze, not Verstappen, because of course he picked up a 3-second time penalty during the battle with Verstappen.
Liv's trying to move in the chicane. What
Surely
was that?
not.
Liv's just trying to move on Jolly into the chicane at the end of the lap. Liv's absolute straight line speed from the softs. He's trying to take absolute advantage of it. It didn't exactly work. As he's trying to go aggressive to turn 1. Jolly's been doing an amazing job to keep within the battle this time. Side by side going into turn 1, Jolly runs defensive. That's enough because Livs gets too much on the Astro and loses his car. Not completely, thankfully, the battle still continues, but it's advantage Jolly as he still remains in 4th place. Oh, God.
Fantastic bit of battling between these two at the moment. We hope it continues, but I mean, what was Livs doing? I can guarantee that, ready for a pun, I have a pun ready for it. I guarantee that Jolly would have been livid in towards the chicane if we'd have gone for the move on him at the chicane. So, sorry, I'm here all week.
Well, now he's just Jolly that he's defended the position. So,
I was setting that one up. I knew that you were going to. I knew that something about Jolly was going to come.
Two players game, right? I got it.
The dad jokes are coming out in LCR, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, I just want to, real quick, cover over a couple of mistakes in this race while we got downtime, because Jolly and Liz look like they're about to battle again, and I want to take advantage of the situation. Leopard has yet to win a race this season. If he wins this race, he makes an LCR record as the first driver to win the same race twice. Trouble is, Verstappen's behind him. This is his debut LCR race. If Verstappen wins, he becomes, I believe, the 4th driver to win that LCR debut, mirroring Leopard, who did the exact same thing last season. And Amaze, he's looking for his 2nd LCR victory. But the thing is, not only is Amaze in the race, but you've got to think of Hayden as well. The 2 Force Indias are looking at their championship campaign. They're going to get the biggest points haul so far. And if Amaze wins, not only will Force India get a massive points haul, but they'll get a massive gap onto Williams, who are currently in the lead. There is a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. That's Frizz's Revenge, who's lost it into turn 3. Did a similar thing to Alonso. He still has an entire front wing intact. Fortunately, he's going to keep continuing the race. But there's a lot of things going on in this race. There's a lot of things to consider as Lives is once again trying on Dolly, but gets too much of the curve into turn 5 and has lost ground. But there's a lot of things to consider, and there's a lot of reason why people will want to get all their positions up this race, because this is what LCR is all about.
It is, and it's record breaking, that's what you got to say. But Amazed is now outside the 3-second window. What has happened to him? He is now 3 points. He'll come 2nd as it stands, and Leopard will finally take that record that you said that he's on for, a chance to be a record breaker. He is very much on for it at the moment, because Amazed has just absolutely bottled it out of nowhere. Now the pressure's on, but interesting, Leopard is under fueled. He's now got 0.12 under fuel of what he actually has, so he's got to use some lean at some point and be hindered on his pace. And that means that Amaze can surely try and close up back up towards the battle lap. They just had to start lap number 31 out of 33. Only a few laps to go, 3 to be precise. And this battle for P4 is still going to hop up. It doesn't look like Hayden's going to be able to close up in the end. He will just safely probably peter out for P6. But there might be some contact in this battle. Who's to know? Who's to say what the hell's going to happen? Because I don't have a clue, personally. But this is exactly what you said. This is what TOI is all about. This is the reason why I love commentating on this league. It's fantastic.
LCR.
LCR, I said TOI,
Okay.
didn't I?
You did.
I'm too excited. That's the problem. I'm too excited.
Yeah, we've got to pretend that another league is better than us. What? Sorry, no, I didn't say anything. Either way, yeah, no, these two are absolutely close. I didn't even realise we were so close to the end. I've just been absolutely enthralled with this race. Wish I could have been a part of it, but I think I'm enjoying watching it more. As Liv's really trying to make those stops work. If he doesn't get past Jolly breaks a lot earlier, but he breaks a lot defensive. Does Liv try to go for the switchback? He's not exactly a part of the track. He can make a switchback. Jolly gets actually the better exit. Does Liv try another switchback going through turn 12? No. Dolly is just defending just as much as he needs to, but depends on how much he's going to be. When are these cars going to fall off the cliff? Both the drivers, Liv is literally just pushing Jolly through the chicane as well.
Indeed, the penultimate lap is just about to be started by the pair of them. Lap number 32 out of 33, and yes, like you said, this race has gone at a rate of knots. Amaze, by the way, is now 4.7 seconds behind, and he's actually 3 tenths off, actually fallen down to 3rd. So, all of a sudden, this race has just turned on its head, and at the moment, Amaze is not even going to get P2. If it continues as it is, because he's dropping back even further. So whether his tyres are just falling off the cliff, or what, I'm not too sure, but it's all gone wrong all of a sudden for Amaze. It looked like as if he was going to finally get it right, but Leopard, as you said, is going to surely. He's got an opportunity to claim the American wave down inside. Liv thinking about a turn 5, he's dropped it! Oh. Liv's just dropped it at turn 5! What about Hayden? He's now coming around the corner.
Here comes Hayden!
What will he manage to do? It doesn't look like it's close enough, but of course he'll have dirt on his tyres, and rather dirty tyres. They come through turn number 7, and it looks like as if it's going to be Liv's ahead of Hayden. But that Jolly will surely claim that P4 in what has been a fantastic recovery after a very, very poor start. Now, one thing I want to say, the top 3 have not changed at all. A single position has not changed in the top 3. And then you've actually got guys that actually changed further down. But in this 8-man finish race, and what has been, you'd think this is a street circuit. Looking at the amount of drivers that finished, as oh my goodness, I nearly had a heart in your mouth moment there. You saw Welty slowing down to almost a crawl on the outside of Verstappen through turn 2. And I thought Verstappen was going to collide into the back of him. But Amaze, this is crucial to watch, because Amaze has just brought the gap down to 2.3. He's just gained 7 tenths through turn 3, because Welty and Verstappen, I don't know what happens with that, he's just sort of lifted off out of nowhere. But surely he'll claim P2 now. I can't predict this. Like, I'm on the edge, I'm not even on the edge of my seat, I'm standing up by this point. I don't know what's going to happen. Final lap, of course.
One certainty is going to happen. TOR Leopard is coming into the 3rd sector. He is the Williams driver. No bias here at all. But TOR Leopard is the current reigning LCR World Champion, and it looks like he's going to be a record breaker as he's coming through the final few corners now to set the to become the first driver to win the same race twice. Last season, he Spanish Grand Prix, and as he rounds the final corner, LCR Season 4, TOR Leopard will win the Spanish Grand Prix. He is a record breaker. He moves into the lead, he extends the lead in the championship. TOR Verstappen gets a podium, but it's not second place as the maid sneaks into second by virtue of Verstappen's penalty.
Indeed,
oh my days.
Fantastic job by Leopard in the end. Just absolutely turned it up when he had to after that interesting strategy called a pit early, but in the end it seems to have worked for him. So Leopard will claim that race win and does break the record and produces records and miracles as he always does. TOR Leopard extends his championship lead, lives fourth in the end because Jolly had 2 penalties. So lives in the end, does nick it by 7 tenths off of Jolly. So Jolly in the end, after all that he fought so hard, he in the end only gets P5, Hayden P6, Welty P7, and lastly Drizzt's Revenge in P8 after what has been an absolutely fantastic Spanish Grand Prix in LCR. Wouldn't you agree, Apex?
Oh my god, 16 drivers started, 8 drivers finished. A record got broken, a record got destroyed, but we'll not get into that. TOR Leopard, he can't believe his luck. There's no doubts about it, to be honest. I don't think there's nothing really to penalise him over. Last race he won, but it was taken away from him, of course, so this will be absolutely sweet for him. He absolutely demolishes into the lead of the championship, especially for Williams as well, but that was just overall a class race from everybody involved. I don't think there was a single person who wasn't at least mentioned or, wasn't at least highlighted, because that's what it's all about here. Everything matters and everybody knows what they're doing. They're all professional drivers. Leopard wins, Mason second, Verstappen third, lives fourth, Jolly fifth, Hayden sixth, Welty seventh, Drizzt's Revenge in eighth, and a bunch of people DNF'd.
Oh yeah, you can tell it's full of professional leagues because you've got Romain Grosjean didn't finish, Nick Hulkenberg didn't finish, Van Dorn didn't finish, Verstappen didn't finish, Alonso didn't finish, as well as Verline and Kvyat. So that's just proof, ladies and gentlemen, that LCR is by far one of the best leagues. Because I mean, come on, even if them guys didn't finish and they did manage to finish this enthralling and grueling race, and surely these guys got some of the best you got to offer. That was a cheeky plug. Should we do a cheeky plug? I fancy doing a cheeky plug.
We're good. We're good at cheeky plugs.
I've already done it once or twice in this race, so I'll do it again. I would like to say, fair play to LCR. Thank you very much for offering me. I will say this now on stream. Thank you very much for offering me the job. It's been fantastic. I've very much enjoyed it. Hopefully, we'll have my co-commentator back soon because I feel lonely when the Suns come box. But yeah, no. First thing I would like to say is don't forget to tune in after this race. I'm sure it'll be archived. I'm sure Jess will archive it. www.twitch.tv/JessGames92, and I believe it'll also probably be uploaded onto the YouTube, so you can go watch it again. So you go watch the Pro Division, the second division. Doesn't mean the racing is any less. Just by to be in the second division. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
One thing I do want to mention about the Pro Division is that I think Jess might have actually had to stop streaming because she disconnected. Hi, Verstappen. Sorry, I forgot about that. But I want to quickly mention that I will give away the result. I don't care because it has my teammate TOR Leopard won in the LCR Pro World Division, but in the LCR Pro Division, my former teammate Flying Finn 866 race and has now moved into the lead of the championship. So, I'm happy.
I can tell you're a little bit happy. You seem to be loving life, even though you didn't actually get to take part. But yeah, Flying Finn did grab the victory, so fantastic job from him. So nice job on the Pro Division. Shame we can't go back and watch it because that's the first thing I was going to do. I turned it off. I was going to go back and watch the Pro Division. No. But well, I'm sure there'll be another week when I can. And actually, I hate to say it, but I have to tune into the World Division next week when I'm off because unfortunately I'm at work next week, so I can't make next Sunday.
Well, thank you for reminding me, Nuthead, because conveniently enough, next week is actually a break week.
Yeah, I timed it. Yes, working around the TOR at LCR. I said LCR. Shut up. I said LCR.
Could you stop? All right, good job for Stefan. Sorry about that. I forgot you didn't have a mic. Good job, man.
Yeah, should we do the podium question? Sorry, we're getting a bit sidetracked.
Getting a bit sidetracked.
Leopard sitting there, lovely. Yeah, so sitting there, lovely, nice and mature, sitting there nicely, ready to be asked. When let's face it, if Lewis Hamilton was in here, he'd probably be saying, "Hurry up, come on, I want my champagne."
All right, I'm not going to be biased, so I'm going to let you take the reins here, because otherwise I will be biased. So.
All right, okay.
Yeah. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, no.
Wow. Okay. He waits for us, and now we wait for him.
Right, I'm back.
Okay, there we go.
No, right, seriously. Right, anyway. So, Leopard, first of all, congratulations on the race victory, my friend, today. Fantastic drive by yourself. My first question for you will actually come about an interesting call, in my opinion. Of course, you were cruising away, getting away nicely in the first stint, as you normally do, to be fair. It's what you're sort of known for. But when the first pit stops came, you interestingly chose to stay out quite a few laps later than Verstappen and Mays. Tell us what your reasoning was for that.
Might sound a bit cocky, but was to make it interesting.
Wow.
Right, at least you're honest. At least you're honest. I will give you that. At least you're honest about it.
Yeah, and partly that, and partly I was planning to pit lap 12 anyway, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, in the end,
Were
it
you not
did work
expecting
out
other
for
people
you.
to finish? Were you not expecting other people to pit earlier? I had no idea what your strategy was. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I was quite surprised Verstappen hit that early, and obviously I knew Mays would respond. So, I'll stick to my strategy, make things interesting.
Indeed, it worked in the end. After
Although I was I got a bit scared because I started my final lap on those softs on like 75%.
Yeah, I
So I
mean,
thought, please don't blow.
you did look fairly worn. I mean, I was on board with you, and the blistering did look quite bad, especially on that front. I think it was front left. I think I saw the most on. But yeah, it looked like as if you were sort of coming to a call in the end. But in the end, the strategy did work out for you, so you got away with it nicely. Second question for you comes out actually about the championship, of course. So you've now extended the gap out, I believe, to 26 points, if not a little bit less, because maybe essentially someone jumping EVR Fredster, but I believe that's how it is at the moment. Of course, you come in, you were former champion, so you had the pressure on your shoulders of being last season champion to back it up, to be back-to-back champion. And you seem to have managed it quite well. What exactly is your strategy going into every single week? How do you prepare yourself for, very tough opposition like Fredster, Fens, Cushmania, Jolly, looking further down the field? What exactly? How do you prepare? It's a weird question, I know.
I don't know. I don't really practice for LCR. I just rock up to the half an hour practice and go from there.
I can answer that question.
I always try and ask interesting questions, but I always get like the mundane answer. Like, I say, "Oh, what did you do to practice this week? What did you do?" And people will be like, "Didn't really practice, to be honest with you, mate."
Oh no!
I should stop asking these sort of questions. Like, I think I should ask like the plain boring ones, like, "How was your race? You did a one stop. Was that planned?"
Yeah, midway through practice, or really from just the entirety through practice, I was thinking I should have at least done like an hour's worth, shouldn't I? I really should have, but hey, worked out in the end. As per Apex knows.
I mean, I do have a question for you. You are 26 points in the lead, by the way, because there was nobody close enough to hop over Fredster, so you're well into the lead right now. But I want to let you know that you have officially broken the record that you had aimed to come into the weekend to break. You were the first driver to have won the same race twice. You are now the king of Spain. Let's put it that way. Does anything change from now on? Do you want to win more of the same circuits, or are you just going to try and keep pushing and get your second title?
Obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously, I look to win.
Well, from owner to driver, I'm proud of. I'm really happy with how you've been racing lately. And I see his teammate. Yeah,
I just had to get that one in. Sorry, but yeah, Leopard.
Yeah, you should have.
He nicked my last question about being back to back. I was actually going to ask, did you know about it? But obviously, clearly you did. But yeah, congratulations on the race victory, my friend. Fantastic drive, faultless, sensational. That's the words I will use. But yeah, congratulations on the race victory.
Fair enough.
And hope to see you here again in future races when I'm back doing the podium questions again. But Apex, that will do that, because unfortunately doesn't look like we have the other two into the party. Of course, for Stefan we did, but unfortunately he has mic issues where he doesn't actually have a mic, so that would help. And of course, Amazed, I don't think wants to jump in. So that will conclude that. Apex, thank you very much for joining me, my friend. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, it's absolute joy to watch his races back. Now I got to watch it back with my annoying voice, but it's a joy to watch it back with your commentary because you're just such a class act commentator, and really proud to have you in LCR. So thank you very much for continuing to do commentary. And I really thoroughly enjoyed joining you today. Kind of took the sting off of missing my 49th LCR race, but I'll be back and bottling it in the Williams, so that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah.
Fourth
I'll
team,
remember
mate.
that
Back
stat.
on
next
it.
week.
I'll remember that stat for when you get to 50th. I'll remember that. But yeah, that will conclude that. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure for the LCR. That was round number 5, and we'll see you in a fortnight. Goodbye.